Sestina by Elizabeth Bishop. September rain falls on the house. In the failing light, the old grandmother sits in the kitchen with the child beside the little marble stove, reading the jokes from the almanac, laughing and talking to hide her tears. She thinks that her equinoctial tears and the rain that beats on the roof of the house were both foretold by the almanac, but only known to a grandmother. The iron kettle sings on the stove. She cuts some bread and says to the child, "It's time for tea now." But the child is watching the tea kettle's small hard tears dance like mad on the hot black stove, the way the rain must dance on the house. Tidying up, the old grandmother hangs up the clever almanac on its string. Bird-like, the almanac hovers half open above the child, hovers above the old grandmother, and her teacup full of dark brown tears. She shivers and says she thinks the house feels chilly, and puts more wood in the stove. "It was to be," says the marble stove. "I know what I know," says the almanac. With crayons the child draws a rigid house and a winding pathway. Then the child puts in a man with buttons like tears, and shows it proudly to the grandmother. But secretly, while the grandmother busies herself about the stove, the little moons fall down like stars from between the pages of the almanac into the flower bed the child has carefully placed in front of the house. "Time to plant tears," says the almanac. The grandmother sings to the marvelous stove, and the child draws another inscrutable house.